Hello everybody, this is Jim Simard with Care Printing. I've been authorized by ClearProp TV's Paramotor podcast to edit this week's show and rebroadcast it for you. In this edit, I endeavor to focus on the guest, their story, and what they have to say. I hope you enjoy the show and find it informative. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. Simply ask them in the comment section down below, and I'll get to them. Oh, one more thing. Please hit the thumbs up and subscribe to my channel because I plan on doing this on a regular basis for you. Enjoy the show.
This is Season 3, Episode 119. Welcome to PPG Grandpa's Paramotor Podcast, clearproptv.com if you want to watch us, and paratalk.org if you just want to listen to us because we're not pretty enough for you. Well, we try to be as pretty as we can, absolutely. We have a lot of people in the Super Chat, so let me say hello to everybody real quick. John Wayne, thank you very much for supporting our channel. John Wayne is one of our supporters. If he was athletic, he would be an athletic supporter. We got Care Ppg, Jim Simard from Canada A, what's up? Bill H, and we got Wade Collins, Joshua Marsh, Travis D. It's a Travis D again. Will Fly. I'm scrolling down so many things. PPG, the other Nick. What's up, bud? Glad that you made it here. And Kelby Cox just said hello also. I think he said, hola, what's up, what's up? Man, it's going to be another amazing podcast. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. Obviously, you could be doing something else like flying, but you decided to stay here and chat with us tonight. We got Mark McElroy from Paralife PPG in the house. David Wolf just jumped in. Magic ATP. Daniel Roosh. Man, we got so many people rolling in here, but we will come back to you guys in just a moment. Thank you so much for joining us. Anyways, let's go ahead and introduce everybody on the panel real quick. As always, we got Jim Simard, Simard. Am I saying it right? Simard. I think I say it too fast, but I'm trying to say it right. Am I saying it wrong? It's not Simard.
Yeah, there you go.
Simard. Okay. Apparently I've been saying it wrong for the last 3 seasons. I'm glad that you said something. Simard. Gotcha. Jim Simard from Canada, eh? His money smells like maple syrup, and he does printing for us from carepp.com. Welcome, Jim. How you doing, bud?
Doing well. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Making any more Paramotor calendars from paramotorcalendar.com, or is it time to do something new this year?
I think we can get some more pictures and do another one. I think it'd be cool.
We'll definitely have to do that, especially since Bad Apples is coming up. Since you're in Canada, you won't be able to make it to Bad Apples.
Not this year.
But you are flying PPG, right?
Sure are.
All right. Now, what are you up to now? So how many flights?
I think it's 114.
114. If you want to see Jim's crazy shenanigans, go over to careppg.com. Thanks, Jim, for being on the panel today. We also got Will Fly from willflyppg.com. What's up, bud?
Hey, man, what's going on? It's good to be here.
It's another beautiful day, and once again, you could have been doing anything else, but you decided to be here on our panel. We definitely appreciate you, bud.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Hey, shout out to Ben Lorenzi. Just had an awesome weekend at Paramotor NC's infamous LZ, and I didn't even fly, but I had a great time.
Awesome. Any good videos?
Yeah, tons and tons of them. So I got some sifting to do.
All right, and you put out some really good videos, and your videos are over at willflyppg.com.
Yes. That's right.
All right. So were you able to fly today by any chance?
No, my motor actually is at my mechanic's getting the 100-hour maintenance on it.
Oh, okay. I like that you got a mechanic. Anybody in the chat, do you have your own mechanic for your paramotor, or do you do all your work on your own paramotor? I'll check the super chat here in just a moment. We also got, and thank you very much, Will, for being here. Definitely. If you have any questions, make sure you get up with Will Fly or Eric Lear. They're going to be making sure that all of the questions are going to be answered tonight. We also got our very own ppglear.com. Eric, what's up?
Hey guys, it's Monday night. Of course, you know where I'm going to be Monday night, sitting here on the show. moderating for questions. Let's see. Good job getting these guests, Linda. And I'm glad you have the show on Monday nights, Sean. So it's a good place to be on a Monday night.
Absolutely. And you do a show on Tuesday and your wife does a show on Wednesday. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, Tuesday night hangout on Tuesday, and we try to kind of cater more towards the newer pilots that are just getting into the sport, just a little bit of education here and there. And then Wednesday night, Jade kind of looks into the females that are in the aviation industry, and it can be anything from the astronaut that she had on down to paramotors. So everything in between.
Awesome. You hear that, Linda, right? We got to have to get an astronaut on here. Well, thank you, Eric, for being on the show, and we definitely appreciate everything you do, bud.
You bet.
We also got our very own Linda Anderson from ParamoMUSA.com. What's up?
Hi, guys. Welcome, chatters. Welcome, Jeff. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm like super excited, always on Monday night, because this is the place to be on Monday, because you never know what shenanigans are going to go on, what we're going to talk about. And I'm just so blessed that you guys are all here tonight.
Well, we definitely appreciate you, and anyone that wants to be on our show, make sure you go to ParamoMUSA.com, and that forwards over to her YouTube page. Just PM her and say, hey, I want to be on the show, and we'll get you on the show.
Right.
You heard that, Linda, right? We got to get an astronaut to be on the show.
Yeah.
All right. But anyways, thank you very much, all the panel members. Now, this is not about me. This is not about the panel. This is all about our guest. And tonight is Jeff Pearson. He's been flying since 2003. He's been flying a PPC in 2003. In 2010, he started flying Ppg. He self-taught himself how to do both because there was nobody out there back in 2003. Jeff, welcome to the show, bud.
Thank you. Hello.
So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into PPC and Ppg?
I will. I started in 2003 with a fella that dated my sister. He flew a Fresh Breeze Monster out of Gastonia here. And he tore up enough equipment that it made me look into wheels instantly. But then the lighter frame started coming out in our time. But yeah, the Fresh Breeze Mods, I think back then with a half a tank was close to 90 pounds, and he was a little short fella. So I got a PPC because it was pretty much stall resistant, idiot proof. Just, I had PPC, I'll just get in there and nail it, it'll fly itself. Well, they told me that enough till I took it to a place called Laney's. I said, Mr. Laney, I said, everybody keeps telling me that you'll give me an opportunity to fly this PPC. Says, I bought it. I can't find anybody to train me. He said, son, take it up there underneath the power lines, turn it into the wind, stretch out the parachute. He said, nail it and the thing will fly itself. I said, sir, I don't think you understood what I said. I've never flown and I bought this thing and I'd really like to try to fly. He said, son, I'm going to tell you one more time, take it up there and turn it into the wind, the thing will fly itself. Well, I did. I got above the trees and I was like, I'm flying. Oh, wait, I've got to land this thing. And so I got about 70 feet above the tree and I was on an old slow parachute that didn't move but about 16 mile an hour wide open. And so it started going backwards. So the first 3 times I flew, I had that same experience. I took off from the airport. I flew backwards for 3 to 5 miles. The wind would give up and it would let me get back to the airport. And so I was good on the PPC up until I learned about Beach Blast. And then I really, really wanted to attend that. And so the only way I could do that was switch over to PPG. And at the switchover point, I didn't really think it would be, any different. But boy, it was a much different in the turning, the banking, the speed, the performance of the wings versus a square parachute on a PPC. And I fell in love from then on, and been pulling the strings harder and harder every time ever since. And I can't get enough, and waiting for the bad apples, and hopefully I'll get in the air with this semi fractured leg. And but I got a brace I'll get it stretched out with. I'll get it in the air. If I get there, I will fly it.
I definitely hope that you make it to Bad Apples, and
Oh,
you know,
I'm going early just so I can have time to set up slowly, you know what I mean? Because when I'm hobbling around, I take a little time to get set up. So I'll be there early. I'm probably going down that Monday.
absolutely. Some people did comment about the mechanic thing in the chat. Magic ATP said, "I wish I had a mechanic. Don't know if I could trust him though." Let's see. Dave Wolf said, "Will Fly, you have a paramechanic." I'm my own mechanic, says Travis D. Phil Hooker. I hope I said that right. Same, wish I had my own. Joshua Marsh, I'm my own mechanic. Mark McElroy from Paralife PPG says, "I have a mechanic, PPG Lear." That's awesome. The more you wrench, the more you learn. And I think that's all they said about that. Okay, that's pretty cool. It's always fun to see what people say. I'm my own mechanic. I need to be my own mechanic. I wish I could afford Eric, but he's up in Wisconsin. So you've been flying for a while. 2003, you self-taught yourself PPC. And in 2010, you started PPG and going to different fly-ins. Now, you said that you're 6'5", 165 pounds, and you have a numerous amount of wings, a 29 wing, 31 meter, 33, 34. So what kind of gear do you fly, and what kind of wings do you fly, and what do you feel, so far as your go-to wing and your go-to motor?
For the fun of it, the 29 Paramania Revo 3. It's fast, it's fun, good cross country wing. For just cruising along I got a Fusion, Paramania Fusion 31. It's still a fast, big lifty wing. It did knock about a mile or two off of or 3 off of the Paramania, but even with trims out. But the Paramania moves along so fast with the trims in. I've had Eric Farewell say, "Man, I had full speed bar trims out and I couldn't catch you." I'm like, "Well, I didn't even know you was trying, but anyway." So it's fast, it's fun, especially when, you want to turn your eyes red a little bit and get down next to the ground, slinging it around. It's a good wing. I got an APCO Thrust 33, a Universal, I think that's the 34.
So you're flying some pretty big wings. And I assume it's because you only do trike, or do you do foot launch also?
Well, the Green Eagle's a quad, and it's right on the 250, 60, whatever mark. It's probably over a little bit, but and then my 165, and then fuel. So, but the wings, depending on what you want to do. If you're just flying with a bunch of backpack guys and you don't want to fly circles around them, I put a 33 on, leave the trims in, or maybe let them out about halfway, and I'm flying with, say, some of the ozone wings on the 33. But the 29, it's so heavily loaded. I bet I could do 50 on a no wind day easily with the trims out on it.
So do you do a lot of flying around just the LZ, or do you take cross country trips?
Generally, I get a fly in. I cut the rug for about an hour and try not to circle when I come back. Maybe see a bald spot and keep my eye on it and hit it. But Yeah, generally, if I'm by myself, yeah, I stay kind of close, fly some circles within probably a 12 mile from the LZ in a big circle and come back. But if it's me and a couple of people and we're gonna fly, 7, 8, 12 miles and put it down somewhere and shoot the crap or and then take back off. Yeah, we got several spots out here for that.
Have you ever traveled to another country, or are you only flown in the United States?
No, I'm not taking the jab. I'm not going to get. I can't get on a plane.
Gotcha. I think I'd rather fly in the United States also. It seems like we have.
Well, it's the whole
Federal
jab
rules.
thing. I'm not taking their, so that disqualifies me from being on their plane. I'm assuming so. And some of their concerts and anything else.
Sounds good. Hey, you know what? In the pre-show, I forgot to ask you, how long do we have you for? We usually do an hour podcast, but we can go as long as you want to.
I'm free. I'm just sitting here. I'm free. So yeah, I cleared tonight. Just sitting here watching the sunset. Like, man, wish we was in the air.
I know we need to do a podcast in the air one of these days. One of these days we will. Oh, here's something. Next year, I think it is. I'll have to double check, but there's going to be a full solar eclipse going right over Arkansas. I want to fly during the full solar eclipse. Has anybody flown when there's a full solar eclipse? And when it gets really dark, do you need to put on your strobes?
I missed the last one that came through, and it was the good spot would have been at Triple Tree Aerodrome down near South Carolina would have been and I think some paramotor people did do it. I didn't get to. I had other plans, but that would be so sick to fly during that. I have flown at nighttime at Palm Bay Compound with a rocket in the air. That was pretty wild too.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to find some way of flying during the solar eclipse. So let's talk about that one of these days, guys, and let's keep our ears, see if there's any flyings or something that's going to be going on just for that particular eclipse. We might need to come up with something like that if it hasn't already been done. Eric?
Yes, sir.
I'd be down.
Any questions so far in the chat that I may have missed?
Not really in the chat. I got a couple of statements, that Michael Pendleton said, just point the wing and floor it. But I do have a question, and we asked this kind of in the pre-show. Do you fly with a reserve?
No, I don't.
Okay, and with that, have you had any, scary moments, or what has been your scariest moment, either with PPC or PPG?
I have a moment that I would rather keep off of air.
Okay,
And
yeah.
it was a mid-air in 17
Ooh, okay.
at my flying.
Okay,
So,
and why don't we talk about your flying?
and
Tell us
yes,
about
very
that.
scary. Very scary. Let's see the plane.
Oh, dang, man.
Wow.
Went to the start and stop. Oh, man. Well, that would have been scary.
And I can't draw. Yeah, I can't throw a baseball anymore. It won't. It doesn't go, but luckily I can get to the riser and stuff. But
Yeah, that's fine. You don't have to talk about it.
well, it's just so controversial, and it just
We
Well,
don't
we
need to
definitely
talk
don't
about
want-
anything controversial.
Yeah.
We're perfectly fine, whatever you're comfortable with.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
What about your best times flying? What has been some real memorable flights that you have taken?
Oh man, Panama City Beach was probably the whole ordeal that I had to go through to get to see that emerald green water at Beach Blast was well worth you know, I would have fist fought him and it still would have been worth it. So, but anyway, I'll make a quick sample out of it. I've switched over to PPG to go to Beach Blast. That turned into a lot of drama because he didn't want my Green Eagle there competing against two stroke. So it was, oh, we got no way to get it to the beach. It's too big. It's this and that and other. So everything I heard and was told was a chronic lie, and it caused me to go there on 2 different years. 1 year, I'll just leave your equipment at home. I'll have you some equipment. Well, that was a total lie. Cost me, I had a penthouse. It was a $4,000 room for a week. That had 5 bedrooms. Yeah, trust me. And then I didn't get to fly on top of that. So the next year I went, I just took my toy hauler and showed up. He took my money like in July, and I was like, well, if he's gonna take my money, I'm going. So I showed up with the Green Eagle and still didn't get to fly or launch from the beach behind the hotel itself, but I did go to where he trained and sent it up at John Black's training spot at Panama City Beach. And that was probably one of that white sand and emerald green water is something else. West Virginia was pretty wicked. I went up with a guy named George Cassell, which is a character in himself, and spent a week with him. And we took off in some bush pilots type fields, 50, 75 feet. You're either in the water or you're in the air. And it's the only north flowing river in America. And he had been in it. I think he's been in it twice now, or maybe 3 times now he's been in that river. But yeah, that was some pretty area to fly up there, flying between the windmills. There was no outs, for God's sake. It was trees and windmills, but that was a very memorable flight because I held on to the seat with my butt cheeks. Between the ridge lift and the altitude that we were at, just to clear the peaks, just to take the ridge lift brunt. We were up there, and he's like, come on, we're gonna go down here and land in Walmart's parking lot and go ahead and get us some ham sandwich and put a loaf of bread. And I'm like, dude, there's no Walmart down in there. It's just all wood. No, trust me, but there's a Walmart down there. You get down here, it was a super center. Wow, it was a whole town. You couldn't see none of it. We was up there so high. And I was like, God almighty, we got to climb back out of here. But I've been on some pretty good excursions with some of the fellas up north. The Virginia guys are pretty hardcore. Yeah, I Humley. And
now where is home for you?
I live near Cherryville, North Carolina.
Okay.
It's a little northwest of we're 7 miles from Charlotte city limit from my house here. I'm actually in Lincoln, but I call it Cherryville because Lincoln or Cherryville. I live in.
Isn't North Carolina like first in flight?
It was, yeah. That's the.
Yeah, I think you're right.
A lot.
I have a shirt.
Eric and them went there.
Yeah, I just wanted to shout at JP. That's all.
Yeah, I've never actually done that flight down there. I need to go down there and do that flight. Actually, I see Todd Scott's at Oak Island this weekend. I should have went with him, but I can't walk that good yet.
I'd like to say something about that while I'm thinking about it. You were talking about the white sand beaches and the emerald water and everything. It's mesmerizing. Well, when I did that flight, Eric, I don't know, you might have been there. I know Jade was there. No, I did with Eric and Jade and Brian, but we didn't launch from the beach. We launched there from first flight.
In the parking lot, yeah. Yeah,
but there's something to say about being mesmerized by your surroundings. When I was there, I got I saw dolphin up a pod or school or whatever dolphins are in, and I actually probably flew a little bit further out than I should have. And I didn't have flotation. And I know better, but there's just something that when you see something that's like, wow, I've never seen that before. It's real easy to just focus on that, and just for a split second, take your mind off of the most important thing, which is safety, right? So, yeah, you got to do that, Jeff. That'd be awesome. Maybe we could do that sometime together as a group or something.
Yeah. Oh, I'm down. I almost went with you guys. Let's see, y'all left a fly-in or something and went right. We have moonshine or
Moonshine.
Yeah, moonshiners. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all went. I could have went then, and I was like, hell, I don't know if I were to push in there or not. But I mean, I went after April 15th. I'm off to January 5th again. So I play like a kid every day and try not to get hurt, but it ain't working good. The last 6 months ain't anyway.
So are you a low and slow or flying high type of pilot? What do you like?
No, I'm probably the low and slow. Generally, I don't know, 100 to 800 feet at worst most of the time.
Yeah.
That four-stroke dependability has kind of got me dependent. I don't know. Got me comfortable. I did have to have it rebuilt one time, and I know I'm not my own mechanic either, but I did help with the rebuild. But a buddy of mine helped me rebuild it it cost me $367, and I bought the crank. So the only thing, it was the heads and the cam. I didn't purchase. Everything else I bought, and totally rebuilt it because I didn't know if the crank got hurt because it went balls blazing to the ground and broke the prop. So I replaced the crank and everything in it. But the rod caps commenced to knocking on the crank, and I heard it flying. I was like, "Oh man, my motor's knocking! I ain't got no oil." Well, it had oil, and it was because of the impact with the ground, and it had at that point over 3,000 hours on that motor when it went crashing to the ground. So
3,000 hours. That's a lot of hours on a motor.
From 2010 till 17, yeah.
Wow, got your money's worth.
Well, I was there for a long time, man. I was flying 2 hours in the morning and close to 2 hours every evening. So for 8 months, I was getting my airtime. Yeah.
You fly like I fly.
Yeah. Well, now that my shoulder's back, now that this warm weather's here, I don't mind these. Anything above 50, I'll fly. Anything below that, it gets in this shoulder a little bit, and it just makes me uncomfortable. I bought this heated coat this past winter. It helped some. I took it one wheeling to try it out. It did seem to have elements in the right place. So maybe it'll work. Just keep it warm enough so it don't know it's 30 degrees outside.
Yeah, keep your shoulder in the dark. Don't let it know.
Yeah, that's right. It ain't got no eyes. It don't know no better.
Tell us a little bit about Fly It If You Got It.
Well, like I say, the name stemmed from Beach Blast with an argument with John Black. And so I came back here and I learned from Purdon's, Beach Blast. I went to 5 Indy Air Hogs. And so I had been to a number of different fly-ins and met a lot of people and learned what's good. You want to feed them, you want to give them a t-shirt, you know what I mean? Maybe a free gift or something, you know what I mean? Maybe a personalized armband for keeps, instead of something you just cut off. Just, little keychains and stuff like. But anyway, I had some keychains made for the fly-in. I think they were $5 a piece times 100. That's $500. You know what I mean? Just, you want to see North Carolina and Rebel Field? It said where you was at and the name of the event, and so I was able to do. I think that last fly-in I shot $2,200 worth of fireworks, and that was at half price. So it was probably close to $4,000 if I would have had to buy them on the 4th of July. But we blowed it up. We had a little kid flying some airplanes through the fireworks. It was a good time, man. But I had some drama with some people that cut the hay there, and me and them was about to go off the deep end. Me and one of them were gonna go to see the morgue or something. In fact, my last fly-in, they came in contact with 2 of my attendees' vehicles. Dave Purdon's is one. Well, it wasn't Dave Purdon's. It was Darren's. Darren and Carrie's pickup truck that he got stuck on his receiver hitch on the ball of Darren's truck was the second vehicle. The first vehicle, he caved a fender well in on a enclosed trailer that this guy had, and made the fender punch into the tire a little bit, and I had to give that dude $65. Here, take your money back, man. Hell, maybe it'll help you get you a tire. So stuff like that, and I had people walking around telling lies. I just had too much drama for that particular field. So if I can get a new field and get something on paperwork, I definitely don't. The money ain't no thing, I think I blowed probably $2,600 out of my pocket. I didn't start it to make no money. That's why I turned around and put it all right back into fireworks, So I'd done it to have a good time. I cut that grass from 2014 till last year, and just for a place to fly and stuff, but it was too much work just for a place to fly. So I started the event, and then the first year my incident happened, and so it took me some finagling with the owners and the people after me being one of the people that got took out of the air. So so I had 4 of them out there over the years, and we had a good time at all of them. Most of them were 100 plus people. I think the 17 one, there was 125 here when I had to go to the hospital, but
So
I
what
broke
are
my shoulder. I wasn't gonna go to the hospital. The attendees made me go. Your shoulder looks bad. You gotta throw the belt around my neck, and my arm was hanging. I'm good. I'll go Monday. This was Saturday morning. They said, "Nah, you got to go."
you are definitely the man.
I just had stuff to do. You know what I mean?
I do have one question for you, since you've been to a lot of fly-ins, and you've held a couple of fly-ins. What are some of the etiquette thing that we need to do as pilots and people that are coming over to these different fly-ins? What are some of the etiquette things that we need to make sure that we do or definitely not do when it comes to going to fly-ins? That was a question in the chat.
Well, I caught beef from mine because I did not baby everybody. I did not gather everybody up and said, you don't fly over here, you don't fly over there, you don't fly into each other. I caught flack over no pilot meetings during the one that I got injured in. I didn't take this on to be no men, you know what I mean? That's why I don't train, is because it cuts into my fly time. I'm not going to stand out here and pour sweat and watch perfect flying conditions away to try to get you in the air. So I've never, and I tell them, I'm not going to miss flying to teach you how, so I'm not a trainer, bro. I might be able to talk to you, and if you hook to it and give it gas, I'll tell you what you're doing wrong, or video it and show you what you're doing wrong. But I ain't no trainer, and I'm just a flyer. I don't really do it for publicity. I do it because love it. It's beautiful. There's no stoplights up there. It's the only place the police don't bother me. Come get me
Right.
now.
Right. Do we have any other questions in the chat, or anybody on the panel have any questions? It's already 7:35. We're really
Wow.
today. I know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, not so much. Yeah, I guess a question. So, as you know, we were talking about it before the show. This was my first flying, and I will never forget it ever. I just had a blast at that flying. You know,
Appreciate it.
there's some general things, and I think one thing that really helped the flying is that the people that were there pretty much followed the common sense stuff, the common sense rules. Like, you know, don't just hang out over the field when you're flying. You know, you take off, get up, get out, and get away, and don't loiter. You know, things like that. And when you land, you know, grab your wing, get it off the field ASAP, so that other people behind you can land. And so yeah, there's that's kind of like, that could almost be the topic of another show. You know, I think we've talked about that before. But yeah, and you, if I remember too, man, you did not stop, Jeff. You were just like, boom, work, 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 and you wouldn't even let people help you, man. You were all about that flying. So thank you for that, really.
Well, you know, I don't got a lot of people to, you know, to ask. I just, you know, so I just try to do things myself. But yeah, that kind of got out of, I would have so loved to have had some help, to have stepped back and communicated with some people. And then, you know, this last fly-in where I was actually directing some traffic and giving the Carls and the Chris Montez's and giving them some time to play even during the fly times with everybody else in the air. But if nobody was over the field directly, tear it up, man. I'm gonna give you a thumbs up when I wave you off. You know, kind of get out of the way a minute, let somebody land, you know, or take off or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, the last one definitely was better as far as safety goes. We had some golf carts picking people up as soon as they'd land, getting them out of the field way, and the last one turned out way better than the first two or three. You know, but they were all erratic as far as my part. You know, some days I was cutting grass up until, you know, people started pulling up on it. And I'm like, well, I don't guess I'm cutting that. So, you know, I do what I can and when I can. But it turned out nice. And there will be more. I just going to have to get the guys in North Carolina, especially the ones that was with me out there, weren't a lot of support as far as creating a club and either purchasing land or something, you know. And so I'm actually looking for some land in the process of maybe turning loose of the house I got here and either moving out there in the land in my camper for a little bit or just going on and starting to build a house out there. I can do most of it myself. And I got a camper to live in now. I ain't really got to sell this to do that either. So I can take a little loan out and go ahead and get started on that out there. But I'm looking for my own land if I can't just rent a field. But I'm going to keep a fly in somewhere. I'd really, really, really like to communicate with somebody at the beach though, and move ours to the coast like Beach Blast used to be. But man, North Carolina and South Carolina beaches are so tied up with military and Banner Plains and Myrtle Beach. And I sold it. We had a place at Garden City. We sold. I went to them. Tried, can I take off here? No. Can I take off here? Stay below? No. I won't be over 300. No. How about here? They're building a Walmart next year. No. What about here? No. What about here? No. I'm like, dude, I'm a resident here. No. So I'm like, okay, no. Sold it. So gonna have to move further south or north, either one. But
I got a
Well,
question. It's a little bit off topic of what we were just talking about, but you had said earlier that you had a fear of heights, and that was one of the reasons why you got into flying.
that's what started it. Yeah.
So how did that experience, how how did that work out for you? Your first time flying and all
Well,
that.
for about 2 years of that PPC, I'd come in and my left hand would be almost numb. There was this joystick that came up between my legs that controlled the front wheel. I had a death grip on that joystick that you wouldn't believe. I'd come in, my forearm be sore from holding that thing. So I took my first passenger up after been flying for a little over 2.5 years. And I had a grip on that stick and we was in the air and he reached over my shoulder and tapped me on the shoulder and he said, "Why you hold that stick like that? If we go down, it's going down with you." I let the stick go and ain't never really held a piece of tubing ever since. This made sense to me. It ain't no need to hold it. It's going down too. So I relaxed me right then and there, and I was like, "Oh, cool." After I got rid of the death grip, I started sinking in and getting more comfortable with the equipment and being off of the ground, much less over a 70-foot Highlander that I used to go up in. And I thought 70 foot was something. Yeah. When I took off on that PVC, I was scared. I flew a couple thousand feet all the time. I couldn't see nothing. I was always up in the heat haze and just, just couldn't see nothing. And but if that thing quit, I wanted to glide somewhere. And they don't glide like a PPG does. They tell you to put your chin to your chest. Where you see is where you're coming down. And they pretty close to that on the older wings.
Interesting. DP, I didn't see this until just now because I was scrolling through. DP donated $10 in the super chat. Said, "Thanks for Jeff for taking the time. Looking forward to watching y'all at Bad Apples." And then I saw something from somebody, I don't know if it's true or not, said Bad Apples was canceled. Was that a joke, or is Bad Apples really canceled?
So you got to consider the source on that one. No, Bad Apples is not canceled.
Okay.
And
Scare me there for a second.
Tony, behave yourself.
Oh, okay. I couldn't see it again. I was scrolling through, like I thought I saw it. All right.
I
was an
knew
April
it.
Fool's-
I knew it.
It was an April Fool's joke played on Tony Marzano.
Oh, and he's trying to play it on us. That's not on April Fool's.
Yeah, it's not going to work, Tony.
Tony, come on.
Ay, ay, ay.
I
This
just got a
guy, I
question.
tell ya.
If they had 338 pilots last year, what are they going to do with this mess this year?
I do not know. I did look though. It looks like it's going to be April 8th of 2024 for the solar eclipse. So April 8th of 2024, that's when we're going to have to come up with the flying anywhere from here to here through the United States.
North Carolina, so I'll have to travel north.
Yeah, or you can come over here to Arkansas. We might just be doing something over
Where
here.
you at? Arkansas, that's not far from Mississippi. I can make that when I go down there.
Hop, skip, and a jump, or just fly over here.
Dang.
Yeah,
I have that song in my head.
What song do you have?
Moon Shadow. All the oldsters will know. I'm the oldster. But it's, Moon Shadow. That was the song. Help me out here, somebody. In the chat, Moon Shadow. You need to sing it.
Is that by Crosby, Stills, and Nash?
Yeah.
You're out of my league on that one.
Got me.
No, that was Cat Stevens. That was Cat Stevens. I'll throw it out there in the chat.
Yeah, Charlie Walsh got it right. Cat Stevens.
Charlie got it right?
Woohoo!
That's right. You know.
He gets a sticker
Good
for
job,
that.
Charlie. Good job.
Definitely. Getting stickers. Yeah, it's 7:45 already. Time has really gone by pretty darn quick. Jeff is full of information, fun to chat with. Real quick, if you guys want stickers, we have we got some Paraswag stickers. We got Clear Prop TV stickers. Jim, I think we forgot to talk about stickers last time we talked on the phone this last week. Oh, well, we talked about paramotors. That's what it's all about, right? So if you guys would like some stickers, all you have to do is text me 501-747-3558. Let me know what your name is and where you want me to send these stickers, and I will send them out. And I apologize. I think I had one person last week that texted me that I did not get out yet, but I will get them out this week. So stickers are on their way if you want them. 15 minutes left. Any more questions in the chat or the panel?
Hi, chatters. Just ask those questions.
A lot of comments, but
Hopefully they're nice.
yeah, of course, not pertaining to what we're
No.
talking about.
Yeah, I'm just messing.
It's always fun looking through the chat. Maybe I didn't say.
That's it.
Well. See, oh, look at JP just jumped in. Mad
What?
Slopers,
Oh, hello,
Para
JP.
Ninja,
JP
Angela.
who?
What's
JP,
that?
JP
get
who?
over here in the Zoom.
I know, JP. Why are you not here?
JP, we want to see your face.
Yeah,
What do you mean
man.
you don't have Clear Prop TV stickers? You better.
Isn't JP that Twitter dude?
He's that Twitter dude. Yeah.
He sounds
Yeah.
so familiar. Will,
That's what I thought.
gosh, give me a minute. I'll think about it. JP.
Twitter, Tumblr, something like that.
Yeah.
So there-
something in there. Will. Yeah.
Joshua Marsh asked if I could put my phone number in the chat. I just did. David Wolf's in the chat. Joshua
Hi, David.
Marsh, Charlie Walsh, JP Tulo, Angelo Preslick, Magic
Angela,
ATP, Mad Sloper, Para Ninja, DP. I'm going up real quick just to say hi to everybody. Bill H. Lots of chatting in here. Phil.
Cool.
Bad Apples is on fake news.
Hopefully.
Oh my goodness. Eric is in here. Lots of chatting. That's awesome. I'm so happy. Nick Griffith is in the house chatting up everybody. Iron Eagle Trike, what's up? Michael Pendleton is in the chat. I'm just
Hey.
scrolling up. I'm hoping I'm catching everybody because we got 15 minutes left. And if you haven't said anything recently, say hello in the chat so I can say hello to you on air. Don't forget those thumbs up. We got 19 likes, 32 viewers right now. Here's something. I was checking out our audio podcast, and we have
Yes.
over 25,000 downloads already.
What?
DP said, Elon Musk said Bad Apples is on. All right, that's good. That's what we're looking for. Bad Apples is on. Thank you, Elon Musk.
Actually, he bought Bad Apples, didn't he?
He bought, I think, well, with, what was it, $55 billion? He bought trillion or bought Twitter. I mean, Bad Apples would be nothing. It'd be like, hey, I got something in my pocket here. So anyway, looks like a couple people popped up on my text and said, send me some stuff. What do I got here? Who said that? Phil did. Hello, Phil. Charlie, what's up? I got your stuff. Thank you.
Charlie.
And I will send you out
Mr.
that
Walsh.
stuff. I'll send you out that as soon as I can. It won't be tonight. It'll probably be a little bit later.
Come on now, Grandpa. Come
I
on.
know, right? Jeff Pepper said, what's up? And Kelby Cops, James, that's Eric Owens. I think that's the only people that said anything to say hi. So, hey, what's up? $44 billion, DP said. Yeah, that's insane. I wish I had that much money. If I had that much money, I wouldn't buy Twitter.
Dang, no kidding.
I don't think I would either.
I wouldn't buy Twitter. Nope. I'd make my own. Yep, definitely.
Jeff,
All
where's
right.
Brooke tonight? Where's Brooke?
Probably
Brooke?
flying.
The PPG pirate.
Probably flying.
Oh, geez. Whatever.
Sounds cool. So you self-trained PPG, Jeff, but you also got your PPG 1 and 2, right? So even though you did self-train, you went and you saw a trainer to, up your skills, right?
Well, yeah, to attend that beach blast, you had to be PPG 2 rated. So I went to Chris Bowles, which is there again, the only North Carolina at that time trainer. But now we've got a number of trainers around North Carolina now. But yeah, Chris Bowles, I went up there to help him, to get him to help me out. And I done. He didn't cut me no corners. I done just like everybody else. I had to do the engine out from a couple thousand feet, the touch and goes. I had to do the whole paperwork and all, which was a trick in itself.
I know, right?
Yeah, there's some tricky questions. I was like, man, are you kidding me?
Yeah, it seems like all of them, the PPG 1, 2, and 3, they all have trick questions. It's like, wait a minute, that could be that, this, and this, or just this. What's going on? I know. It's crazy. You do a lot of, you go to a lot of fly-ins, and you said that you go to all of the fly-ins on the East Coast.
Yeah.
You do want to go to the West Coast, but you need somebody.
Well, I mean, I got a 29-foot toy hauler. Hey, if you're gonna go, it'd be best to have another driver so you can move more. I don't like to drive but about 10 or 11 hours, and I'm beat by myself. If I had somebody talking to me, I could drive further, or they could drive as even, so. But yeah,
one thing you could do, Jeff, is you could turn on Clear Prop TV Paramotor podcast and listen to it as you're driving, and it's kind of like someone's actually talking to you.
Well, now that you say that, most of the time I just open a GPS and then it tell me 195. I close it back, open it up, and 160 miles. I don't really, so I could technically do that to listen to one of these shows going down the road. I probably listen to this one the most, but I catch this one and David's Wolf's the most. But it used to be Anthony's, but now I think he's done fell off and don't do as much now or something. Anthony Vilas. So. But they're good to watch. But I hardly ever sitting around at this time of the night. Like right now, I'd be pulling back up the house, covering the eagle up for tonight to keep the dew off and stuff. Just now coming in. And I don't say over morning time. I get up. I'm like a kid. I get up by 9 or 10 o'clock. I'm out of the house. I come back after the street lights come on.
Yep, the good old days before we had cell phones. That's how we knew when we had to come home was when the street lights started.
I'm single. My kids are 25 and 29. My son still lives with me. He just left a few minutes ago. But there's no responsibility. I'm back to me.
Well,
Do your
thank you
kids
very
have
much.
Any interest in flying?
Yeah.
What was the question?
The boys have any? Go ahead, Eric.
Do your kids have any interest in taking up any form of aviation?
I cannot pay my son to fly. I took my daughter up on a PPC, and in fact, it had dry rotted axles on it. So when we came in and landed, it broke and kind of spun out in the last 10 feet. It was rolling, and I'm like, I know the axle just didn't break. And I looked, we were saying, yeah, I guess it did. So, but I mean, it was just an old brittle axle. It'd been on there for 20 years, probably sitting in the stock, something. I don't do a whole lot of maintenance. That's why I fly what I fly. I'm not a mechanic, so I tried to buy something that I wouldn't have to do a lot of work on.
Interesting. Well, we definitely appreciate you being on the show because, you'd normally be out flying. So thank you for being on the show and foregoing flying tonight.
I appreciate the opportunity to kind of tune me into some of the new guys that, we got 25 schools across the nation pumping out 12 a week pilots. There's a lot of new faces in the game since 2003.
Absolutely.
Now that's an interesting number there. So where'd you get that? How did that number come about? Because we were trying to come up with a way of getting a measurement of how quickly our sport's growing year to year over year. So are you saying 12 pilots a week, or?
Well, a lot of them are taking on 10 at a time. especially the aviator classes.
Oh, you're saying per school.
Yeah, per
Yeah.
school, it's good. It's getting crazy. I mean, just look at the used equipment. There's hardly any used equipment around. I mean, and if it is, you might be careful of it. But I need a lot of air conception going around. But anyway, yeah, it's something else, man. They pumping them out everywhere, and I see people, comment on other pilots, and I'm like, darn, let me go to his thing and see if he's a pilot. You go look through his pictures. Sure enough, he's on a parachute. Well, click, add him, and then that Facebook thing makes it the world smaller because it's their friends that it wants you to add them too.
Yeah.
And, but man, it's crazy. And I think at some point my Facebook's already, I'm gonna have to go delete some ex-females or something just to make room for paragliders. I mean, it's what, 5,000 limit or something, and it's close.
Oh,
So
boy.
if that's the case, so Bill H said 3,000 pilots, ? And so divide that by 12, that would mean there'd be 250 schools or, instructors. So, man, I'm gonna come up with a way of trying to figure that out somewhat.
Yeah, they got to be a way to nail it down. I mean, I guess they keeping records on these schools, so I know they could tell, but you would have to get each one of them to turn in their ideas or whatever, how many they've trained.
I think that'd be kind of difficult to do because you also have, if the USPPA would have a record of how many USPPA.
Well, yeah, they would have it as well. The syllabus that makes a copy actually. So
You know what maybe would be a good indicator would be the number of people that attend fly-ins each year.
yeah, well, well, I mean, there's a lot of pilots out west that don't come to, but nowhere on the East Coast. I mean, we've been lucky to get the Predators and we've drawn a couple from out west and whatnots, and even from Italy, I'm understanding coming this time. Fresh Breeze guy, or not the Fresh Breeze guy, the Fly Products dude, but it's getting big when you draw in manufacturers from Italy to Georgia, man. Just to talk about paramotors, it's something else.
I've got one more question for you, Jeff. What's left to do on your bucket list? What's the biggest thing?
The flying, the most, out west. And most all of that happens while I'm at work from January to April. Unless I catch the October, the fall session of it when it's cooling off out there. But yeah, I'd like to do the Glamas, the flying circus, the Salton Sea. But it'd have to be the fall session. Like I say, the other ones is during when I work.
Right on.
Awesome. Well, we're rolling up on 8 o'clock, and we are going to have an after show. I did put the Zoom information in the chat, so if you want to join us on the after show, go ahead and jump on. You'll be going to our waiting room. I'll let you come in just a moment, so just stay there in the waiting room. Don't go nowhere. But anyways, I do want to say thank you very much, Jeff, for joining us tonight.
Yes, sir, Sean.
We definitely appreciate you. And you can definitely come on anytime that you want to. You're on our guest chat, so if you want to be on the panel, just jump on anytime that you want to, and just be on the panel with us. Well, Jeff, you are more than welcome to hang out with us. We're just going to be chatting about paramotors, of course.
I'm most
That's right.
certain to come back on.
Absolutely. Any
Appreciate
other
it,
questions
Jeff.
for Jeff before we go to the after show officially?
No, we need one thumbnail.
We do. And DP,
You know how
jump.
I am on my thumbnail.
Absolutely. DP, go ahead and jump on so I can let you on so you can
How I roll.
get in the thumbnail.
Okay, John is he's connecting right now, so we'll get John on there and then
There's DP. Let me go ahead and add you. All right. So let's go ahead and do a thumbnail real quick.
oh wait, DP's jumping in.
Oops. Let me go back to the speaker.
And then we just gotta warn them, you know. Oh no, okay, we're good.
All right. Ready when you are, Will.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Cheese.
Hold on.
John Wayne, smile.
Oh, wait,
Smile,
do it
1,
again.
2.
I took my glasses off. Okay, do it again.
Got it.
Wait a minute. Let me put my glasses on.
Yeah, we're good.
Awesome.
I know I'm bad.